What's going on, everybody? Jeremy here from The Quartering. Thanks for tuning in today. I've got a couple of news bits for you. U.S. Embassy incident early this morning, as well as a stark warning from Pete Hegseth about Iran, and Iran issuing a pretty defiant threat against Donald Trump. We generally see this kind of behavior right until the bitter end with these folks, so I don't know how nervous I am about it, but there's a lot of news to talk about. So if you enjoy the coverage, please leave a like on the video. And if you haven't, take a second to subscribe or follow down below. It really, really does help. I know I'm testing some different thumbnails and video titles right now, and it's probably annoying a lot of you. Those tests should be over soon, and I appreciate you all sticking with me. Now, there were, here we have the consulate in Toronto has been fired on, local police say. It was struck this morning at 5:30 a.m. No injuries, thankfully, reported. And, of course, no suspect apprehended. But Toronto police said it found evidence that there was a weapon discharge. You can also see some strikes, at least one here appearing on the windowsill. And I'm not sure how many other. And you can see some markings on the ground here, which I assume are shell casings. But I can't see for sure. This actually looks like the projectile that hit the steel building and is on the ground. That's what it looks like. My dogs are picking a great time to be annoying right now. German Shepherds are the best. Anyway, people are saying this is related to the Iran incident, the Iran conflict. Photos show at least 2 marks left by bullets in a glass door at the building's entrance. The consulate sits on University Avenue, a very busy thoroughfare leading to Ontario's legislature that has become a regular flashpoint for anti-U.S. protests, including demonstrations over the weekend against the war with Iran. Is it a war? Is it a conflict? I don't know. Also, and more importantly, 2 Toronto area synagogues were also struck last weekend. I'm going to guess probably the same person. I'm going to guess probably a particular religion. I don't know. Could be some angry young white boy. You never know. But I'm going to guess. Obviously, the consulate attack comes just days after that lunatic in Texas did what he did, and those 2 lunatics in New York City did what they did, and we talk about the Senegalese-born U.S. naturalized U.S. citizen. The reason that one is important is because that one is more directly tied to the Iran conflict. Investigators had found a Quran in his car, and he was pictured wearing a shirt bearing the words "property of Allah" on the day of that incident, as well as an undershirt of that, that looked like to have an Iran flag. And he also had pictures. I'm going to do better reporting than the Daily News right here. He also had pictures at home of Iranian leaders. So that one was very clearly a retaliatory strike. Was this one? I don't know. Thankfully, it's just some idiot doing a drive-by. But a defiant Iran threatens Trump with elimination and warns him to, quote, be careful. Now, I don't know who Iran is anymore these days. I mean, the Ayatollah is gone. All their leadership is gone. So I'm not exactly sure where this threat is coming from. But Iran has warned Donald Trump to be careful not to be eliminated after MXC, don't get eliminated. That's an obscure reference that I'm sure 7 of you will get. Iran has warned Donald Trump to be careful not to be eliminated after the U.S. president said he could not believe the new regime's new supreme leader can live in peace. Mr. Trump told Iran to brace for death, fire, and fury for keeping the Strait of Hormuz shut before threatening its new leader, Mojtaba Khamenei. I can't believe he's still alive, to be honest with you. He told Fox News the new supreme leader will be unable to live in peace and that he was not happy with the appointment, having warned Iran that he would have final say over their leader. Now, I don't care for that. I would prefer that they have, I don't mind the U.S. helping protect a democratically elected leader. But I imagine in the interim, it's probably going to be, somebody that they pick. But the regime security chief, Ali don't really care, dismissed Mr. Trump's comment, claiming Iran is not afraid of your empty threats. I mean, I feel like these people live in a totally alternate reality where there aren't pictures of all of their leaders being turned into holes, smoking holes in the ground, and their entire navy being sunk. And I guess if all of that isn't true and I've been completely duped, I guess. Now, he added, even those greater than you could not eliminate the Iranian nation. Take care of yourself not to be eliminated. His threat comes just days after Iranian operative was convicted for an attempt on Mr. Trump during the 2024 presidential race that everyone basically forgot. Mr. Trump's campaign was warned by national security officials that Iran was targeting him and had multiple, quote, kill teams in the United States. Asif Merchant, a Pakistani national who was trained by the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, was found guilty of the plot on Saturday. Did you even know about that? Did people even remember that happening? I feel like it was pretty, it seemed pretty like here and gone. Now, of course, with threat, Donald Trump then returned fire by saying he's going to bring death, fire, and fury down on Iran if they were to cut off the passage to oil tankers through the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said Tuesday will be the most intense day of attacks in Iran. Yet, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps reportedly announced that any Arab or European country that expels the ambassadors of the U.S. and Israel will have full authority and freedom to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. I'm going to go ahead and guess that literally nobody's going to do this. I also don't think Iran will be closing the strait very long. In fact, probably by tomorrow, it'll be open. Now, Saudi Arabia's oil company warned that markets face catastrophe over the strait's disruption. This is the latest kind of oil bonanza. If I look right now, oil price per barrel, it dropped starkly. Oil prices dropped by more than $40 a barrel from dramatic early rise. That was last day. Let's see if we have any real-time trading data here. So it did spike up to over $100 a barrel. It is now it's currently at this, whenever this March 10th price is $83 a barrel. Crude oil right here, $83.70, down $11 a barrel, 11.68%. Natural gas is down, gasoline down. Now this spike you see here in this chart is when everyone was worried about gas prices. But the thing a lot of people don't understand about gas prices is it's essentially a futures market. Any gas that is in any gas station or any reserve right now has already been paid for, probably with prices from 10 years ago. These temporary spikes are no more than greed by the oil and gas companies, speculating the supply. The idea that U.S. oil supply was ever really in danger was purely speculative. And for one day, the prices rose. And if you actually look, basically 2020, if we go back to January, oil prices were up $50 a barrel. And it's basically been going up all of February. It was been kind of creeping up even before the Iran stuff started. And then it really spiked. So I'm hoping we see a pretty dramatic fall. Gas prices are a big deal. It matters to everyday people, to voters, to people who have to drive back and forth to work, to truckers. The price of gas and diesel affects everything downstream. It affects shipping costs. It affects, production costs. It affects, oil and gas is a part of nearly everything we touch, everything that gets transported. So it's important. And so I'd like to see, more confidence in that market to drive this back down into the 60s. But also Pete Hegseth then said, today will be the most intense day of strikes yet on Iran, and vows that war will end on our timeline. Let's go to Pete Hegseth's remarks here. I'm not sure why we're giving advance notice here, but let's see.
Iran stands alone, and they are badly losing. On day 10 of Operation Epic Fury, we are winning with an overwhelming and unrelenting focus on our objectives, which are the same as the day I gave my first briefing here on Operation Epic Fury. They're straightforward, and we are executing them with ruthless precision. 1, destroy their missile stockpiles, their missile launchers, and their defense industrial base, missiles and their ability to make them. 2, destroy their navy. And 3, permanently deny Iran nuclear weapons forever. It's a laser-focused, maximum authority mission delivered with overwhelming and unrelenting precision. No hesitation, no half measures.
Good.
As President Trump declared yesterday, we're crushing the enemy in an overwhelming display of technical skill and military force. We will not relent until the enemy is totally and decisively defeated.
Now, a lot of people, myself included, are concerned, what is that going to actually take? I mean, I think there are a lot of people who are like tacitly like still undecided about this whole thing, but a lot of our red lines, are boots on the ground. And, I think that's not a crazy thing. That's not a crazy thing to have as a red line. He promised that Tuesday will yet again be our most intense day of strikes. The secretary insisted the U.S. will not relent. To illustrate U.S. dominance over the battlefield, General Dean Cain, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, noted that ballistic missile attacks from Iran on other Middle Eastern states has dropped by 90% from the beginning of Operation Epic Fury, February 28th, while the number of one-way attack drone strikes from their regime have plummeted by 83%. So I'm not really sure. I see people on Twitter saying, oh, well, the U.S. decided to back off because Iran was fighting back so strongly. Well, are they, though? Additionally, more than 50 Iranian ships have been damaged or destroyed. We're crushing the enemy in an overwhelming display. And, it's hard to deny that. Again, unless I'm being completely bamboozled. Unless I'm being completely bamboozled by everybody. I think it's not a hot take to say, as whatever they say the margin of victory is, I would feel a lot more comfortable with this being over. I feel a lot more comfortable with this. Whatever they're, if I can't go back in time and understand this better or whatever, I'm a lot more comfortable getting this over and done with and having minimal disruption to everyday Americans' lives, because that's what I care about most. I hope you're informed by this video. If you were, make sure you leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.